Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles. This is my tag team partner, Tony Gurria.
Thanks, Rick Martel. Gary Rhodes, everybody.
This is our Ring of Honor show for the week. We'll get right into it. We had Scum in the ring, cutting a promo, basically calling out the team of Red Titus, Jimmy Jacobs, and Cliff Compton called out any three members of the Ring of Honor roster, which brought out B.J. Whitmer and Coleman and Alexander.
I thought it was a solid match.
I thought it was a great opener.
Yeah, real solid.
Just like I said, when I liked that they went right into the action, had very little bit of a build-up to it, went
Boom.
and started to show off right. Nice six-man match. You know, that's kind of something that wrestling's missing, is a good six-man tag match. I mean, the Shield has been doing real well against superstars. But matches like these, I mean, they could be exciting when booked properly.
Oh, exactly. And I think, like you said, this was a great hot opener. Titus gets to win over Whitmer with the help of a little bit of chain.
Yeah, well, you know,
What you got to do.
Chain every now and then. And then we see after the commercial break, we have, before the commercial break, Jay Lethal and Elgin, wasn't it? Came out and they basically chased off Scum. When we come back from the break, we have an already in progress Red Titus versus Jay Lethal. And apparently Jay Lethal challenged Titus for the match, or, you know, that's what was said.
And I thought this was a great match also.
Titus pulling double duty did really well. I mean, he was awesome in the six-man. He was awesome in this match against Jay Lethal. Lethal bumped around for him like a madman.
And the same could be said for Titus. I think they went back and forth. It was an excellent match.
Jay Lethal's very underrated.
Oh,
I mean, people think of him as the Black Machismo gimmick, but he is a damn solid wrestler.
Well, there was nothing wrong
so
with
is
it.
Red Titus.
But there was nothing wrong with the Black Machismo gimmick to me. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was just paying homage to one of the best wrestlers of all time.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's kind of a comedy gimmick.
Oh, yeah. You know, speaking of this, it's funny. It's kind of related to this, as I was watching some YouTube videos at work today, and it had where Lethal came out.
You don't want to say that. You don't want to say at work.
Well, at lunchtime. Anyway,
there you go. In case your bosses are watching.
It was Jay Lethal came out interrupting Fortune.
The Ric Flair one.
Mocking Ric Flair. And it's funny is
you don't want to say that.
Exactly. Whatchamacallit, the guy that makes the matches now,
Nigel.
Nigel is actually in the ring.
Desmond Wolfe. Yeah, remember he was part of Fortune early on?
Yeah.
Or actually, he never became part of Fortune, but he could have been.
Yeah.
Remember there was a whole thing where you had to wrestle your way in?
But it's just funny you mentioned that, and I was like, man, I watched this, and it was just so excellent. Lethal is spot on with his impersonations, too.
Oh,
he did a great flair, too.
Even his character as himself is good.
Oh, yeah. The kid's gold. I'm surprised they haven't given him a title.
I really thought that's who they were building it to at the end of last year with him and Steen's feud. I like the surprise effect when they went with Jay Briscoe. I wouldn't mind seeing Jay Lethal be the guy that takes it off of Briscoe, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of Briscoe, Briscoe and Adam Cole had their contract signing coming right up after this.
And they did their normal thing. They shook hands like good guys do, with Nigel McGuinness overseeing it, which brought out Scum. And this time it was Carino with Rhino and Matt Hardy. So Carino basically says he wants to change the main event of Border Wars to
Rhino and Hardy versus
Cole and Briscoe. And Briscoe says, I got a better idea, let's make it now. Nigel McGuinness, being the matchmaker, said, I like that idea, let's go with it.
I thought this was an excellent main event match.
Oh, it was wonderful.
You have your champion, your number one contender, your soon-to-be number one contender, barring storyline, and Rhino.
Well, I mean, you got basically 3 of the 4 guys in here have been world champion at one point or another.
Yeah.
And Cole's been actually, if you count it, he's a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla world champion right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a good thing. I really enjoyed the flow of the match. I liked how it worked. The ending was spectacular with Cole doing the blind tag. Kind of a hint of a heel turn. Almost like, it kind of reminded me of, remember when Shawn Michaels and Austin tag teamed? And Shawn tagged himself in? And then, of course, the reason I say that is because Cole goes for the super kick on was it Hardy? And Hardy ducks it, he kicks Briscoe.
Square in the face, too. Nice super kick.
And then after that, you had Rhino ready to hit the gore
On Cole, and Cole sidesteps it.
Cole sidesteps him, lets Briscoe take the gore.
Didn't I sidestep one of your gores one time?
You sure did, Gary. That didn't end up so well for you, though.
We broke it. We were moving one time. I was moving out of an apartment I had, and George was helping me move, and I had an ex-girlfriend of mine there. And George is like, man, I'm going to gore you into the mattress, because I had the mattress sitting outside waiting for the rain to stop. And he went to gore me, and I sidestepped, and he hit my ex-girlfriend.
She took it like a champ.
Oh, dude, she weighed 104 pounds. So.
Broke her little ass in half. And then you did later.
That's what I do.
Nice.
That's what I do!
Right here in Sebring, Florida.
Thanks, Mick. Mick and Mark. That's what I do!
The Mick and Mark show. Maybe that's what we should be for Halloween. I'd be Mick, you'd be Mark. How about you be Mizark?
Yeah, that'll go well. Anyways, it was a solid match. I think the show was a solid show.
I really love the ending. The ending was the match was spectacular. Puts that little seed of maybe Cole turn heel, maybe not. Maybe it just a personal.
Well, you don't want your main event to lose.
No, I mean.
So I mean, they did right by that. Even if Cole doesn't turn heel, it was the right ending for this show.
That's what they do.
That's what I do.
Now you got that stuck in my goddamn head.
You're welcome. Well, it's funny, I kept getting it stuck in my head because Hardy kept hitting the World's Strongest Slam on Cole like 2 or 3 times in a row. I'm like, man.
I'll bore you later just for that.
You're welcome.
Man.
So what is your thoughts on the show? What would you rate the show from 1 to 5?
1 to 5? Well, as everybody knows, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. I'd give it a solid 4.
I'm with you on that. I don't think this show was missing much. And also, what we didn't mention was showing Steen win his title.
Yeah, they should.
From last year's Border
Wars. Well, that's because they're coming up on Border Wars again, basically trying to get you to buy the internet pay-per-view, which I highly recommend you guys do, and I think it's Saturday. As a matter of fact. Yeah, which is Saturday, right? I forget the time. They put them on at weird times. Sometimes they're in the afternoon, sometimes they're at night. I'm sorry, I just don't remember it on the spot right now. But I definitely recommend if you got, I think they only charge like $15. If you got an extra $15, you're a fan of Ring of Honor, they won't disappoint you.
It'll be the best $15 you spend on wrestling.
And actually that's something our friend Otto Von Fox was asking on Twitter about Ring of Honor shows that he was wanting to pick up DVDs. Otto, if you're watching this would be a good place to go ahead and go to their website, get the Border Wars pay-per-view, watch it. That's also you spend $15, you can decide from there. That's pretty much their pay-per-views are pretty much what you're going to see with those shows. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's not for everyone.
No, the thing I like about ROH, it's about wrestling. It's not about the flash or anything like that. No. You have your great wrestlers, you have your great talkers, and everybody serves a purpose.
Speaking of great, we have great news for you guys in case you didn't see our TNA show. Myself and Gary, we now have a website for the show for Heel Heat. It's at theheelheatshow.weebly.com. And it was made by a great friend of ours, Warren Rowe over at Rowe Web Designs. Probably, I would say, in my opinion, one of the best web designers in the world. I mean, he's done everything for us from all our little graphics that we have, the little pictures, the thumbnails for these shows, the pictures we put up on our Facebook, our Twitter, on here. The guy is extremely talented. He went ahead and made us a website. We appreciate it very much. It was something he did without even really consulting us, and he hit it right on the nail. He knew exactly what we would want it to look like, and he got it. He gets it. I mean, he's a good friend of ours. He's a real big supporter of the show, has been pretty much since the beginning.
All day one.
Since day one, like the Briscoes.
That's what he do.
Anyway. But we want to send a real big thank you to Warren over at Rowe Web Designs. If you guys need anything of that nature, need a website, need a thumbnail, need a logo made, check out Warren, the guy. He's a real nice guy. He's a good, down-to-earth guy. he'll help you out, and he'll, you know, tell him your friends that Heel Heat sent you. Maybe he'll cut you a discount. But basically, that's all I gotta say. Is there anything you want to
Except for me, my friend.
Well, my name is George Coles.
Gary Rhodes.
And this has been Heel Heat.